Guys, Skatem here, welcome back. It's episode 34 Spazcraft. I'm recording this kind of at the end of episode 33. That kind of droned on. I did a lot of work on it, and I think the video was actually much shorter. I have yet to actually edit it yet. And I want to apologize for the short video, but I will promise you this one will be a lot more action-packed. I did a lot of more work than I usually do in an episode in that video, and that was designing the whole village. And I only was able to capture some of it in that time-lapse, and while that time-lapse was probably cool for you guys, it was also short, and you didn't really see me building. I did that for a couple reasons. Meat building's going to get boring. I changed a lot of stuff, and a lot of the stuff went really fast. I was able to capture some of the better parts on the time-lapse, but also did a tiny bit off-screen, or a little more than a tiny bit. But we were able to outline the entire village and protect it all and light it all up so we cannot get attacked by zombies in that time-lapse, as well as redesigning some of the village and making sure you can get to every house and things of that nature. So I'm going to start off here at the north exit, which we have yet to build, and there's a lot left still to build and fix up. But the main thing is all the villagers are safe, and I also did something very... the way I designed the walls was a tactical kind of design, and I'm going to go through that as we walk through the space. So starting at this entrance, this is kind of the least developed part of town, least work I've done it. I also ran out of stairs, I ran out of wood, so you see stuff like this where the stair is supposed to be. Here's a kind of staircase up into the mountain, and I think I came up here just to put that there. So this is the weird part of town, right here, and that is because there's a lot of open space. If you look here, this kind of clings to the road, and then this barrier also clings to the houses too. Oh, we can let this guy out now. And oh wow, that's a zombie villager. That's not actually one of my villagers. But you can see this barrier actually clings along the outside where it's dark. And it's very close to every part of the town. And I did it that way so we can make a zombie farm. And there's a few key locations that I'm going to point out as we go through this tour of the village. That we're going to be covering in today's episode. And those parts are actually where we're going to make lava traps and other traps of such nature to have an automatic zombie farm while we're in here. And I'm glad it's nighttime because you will hear zombies everywhere you go, and it's actually quite freaky. So we have all sorts of spaces for mobs to get near us, except in this very central part of town. So we'll see, here's the blacksmith. I kicked it out under there. I wanted some more room. And the reason for that is really, this is going to be our home away from home. This is going to be our first base on the server. So you remember in the last few episodes, I was over at the other base, and that's going to be our main base. That's going to be our castle. We're going to do a lot of stuff for villagers. Before we get that, before we get a ton of building, we kind of need resources, kind of first. And you don't build your biggest house in Minecraft when you first start off. And this is kind of what the plan is here. We're going to live in this village with all the villagers. So we're going to soup it up a bit. We'll have automatic furnaces and all sorts of stuff. We'll place some anvils in here. So that's why I'm kind of kicking out some buildings, making them bigger, and also that's why I'm so happy. And this is actually one of the most fun projects to work on, and there's so much left to do. So I just love messing with Minecraft villages in general. And even though you might have missed some of the building, there's going to be so much more building of the rest of this. And also, there's going to be a lot more editing and everything. So I'm going to be in this area. I'm not going to go back to their base. I'm going to be in this area for a while. So even if I didn't show you something with the whole building mechanic and you missed it the first time, you will definitely see it again because we are staying here. That is the plan for now. So this is just one of the houses right there. And we're going to head up. We have some walls to block stuff. And this is kind of my favorite part of town. This is the middle of town. This is a special part of town. So here we have a wheat farm. We have some wheat barrels. We cut out this attic. You can use it for storage or whatever the villager wants to do. That goes back in the house, and we'll get into that later. We grew a tree here, which I think looks really nice. And again, mobs come all the way up to here. So this is one of the spots the zombies collect at, and you can actually hear some zombies in the background. Over here, this is over at this part, so there's a lot of space. There won't be any zombies coming up to us on this side. Here is my chest area and all of my supplies right now on top of the well. Now the well is the hardest part to design. If you remember it from the few clips in the earlier episodes, it was really messed up here, so I had to add a lot of stairs and whatnot. And here's our to-do list that we're starting with the zombie defense. And we'll get to the other ones in other episodes. But come down here, I love how this looks. We have some space around the well for them to get water. And I also started clearing out a little basement area in this building too. So this building kind of has 3 different levels: the main floor, the upper floor, and the basement area so far. You can hear those zombies falling, and I've been freaked out this whole time, like jumping, like, oh, where's the zombie? But believe me, they cannot get to us. There's been a lot of testing for this. So over here is one of the areas where they collect. You can see there's a bunch of them there, and they're going to come and collect because they're going to try to get all the villagers. And there's also, you're going to see me skipping parts of the tour, and I'm going to get back to them. It's just, there's like 5 or 6 different ways to go around this town, different staircases and whatnot, which I think actually makes it really cool. And you know what? I think I might make this a little more like that. Have a wall there. I'm going to change this up a bit. It won't be just cobblestone blocks, but I think having this 2 blocks wide would be better, and then changing back to 3 blocks wide up here. So here we are. That was north, and this was going to be the west entrance over this direction, and along this hillside, but I had to block that off, of course. So you see here, we have lit up, but actually on this side of the bridge, mobs can actually spawn down here, and the wall does not get to here. And oddly enough, we do not have any zombies, but this is the most frequent point I have found zombies collecting, so we're going to put a nice little lava trap down there later into the episode. But if we come down here, we have some more houses to get to. This is what I call the big house. We've got 4 villagers, sorry, and these guys are trapped. I've blocked off the door, if you can see it right over there. I blocked it off on the other side because these guys, this guy sells mending books. We did not want him to die. And these guys all are 3 villagers, of course. So in case zombies somehow break in or I missed a spot, we've got these 4 guys as backups to repopulate the whole thing, and we have saved our mending book-selling villager right there. So if we come down here, we have another spot where zombies collect, and you'll see actually that across the river, that is all safe. There's a house right there. And there's also this little area, and we have our exit that is east exit that is going towards spawn. But zombies can't come in here, and they can swim up the river, and there's a little bridge there that we'll go to in a bit. And I am just throwing torches around everywhere. So here's our well. You can actually go up in here, and you'll see this is the door where they're trapped. They cannot actually get out on this side or the side over there, even though it looks like it. So we'll make an entrance to that over here eventually. Got another house. I don't think anybody's in it. We did lose like 4 or 5 villagers in the making of this town and the fortifying of it. But as you can see, I've tried to use trees and also buildings as much as possible as like the foundation for the walls around everything. So we have another farm down here. And then we go to this end. We have not made a south exit yet. It'll probably be about right here. But there's not really a path going up. I don't really know what to do with this, and I probably won't do it for a few episodes, so please leave any ideas down in the comments below. How did that creeper get there? Huh. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna be daring and probably stupid. Nope. Okay, we're just gonna stay away from him and come back to him. But as I was saying, we have this area up here, and it generated in like a stupid spot. It looks ugly. We have a farm up there, and I don't know whether, oh my gosh, to tear that down, just get rid of the farm completely and completely re-terraform the mountain, because I don't think it looks that good. And I don't know how we would like build the mountain around it. We also need a south exit going this way, so maybe we terraform this a bit and then have it like go through the mountain underground, making our south exit out of here. I have no idea. So put that down in your comments below. We probably won't deal with this for a little while. I was up there a little longer than I would have liked. Okay, let's take another shot at this guy. Nope. Okay, good. Got him. Okay, good. That scared me. How'd that creeper... Okay, there's a few more torches. So that is actually most of the village. We're gonna head down this way, and we've got our switchbacks heading down here. We've got a villager trapped. This is one of the later parts that we built. So there was one trapped back here. He moved over here now. But we have this house down here, kind of like a fishing house maybe. This will be the house I will make to sell fishing rods and stuff. We'll put our fish storage and whatnot in here. And I was going to try to have like a designated idea for each building. We'll have like farming buildings. We'll have like we're going to build a wizard's tower, of course, or a tower to house our librarians. And then we're going to probably trap those villagers in their respective buildings, so we can trade with them. But basically, we just have another farm here, and we have our east exit. So you can see the village from here. We have, of course, more detailing to do. Make the switchbacks look nicer. We're not going to use cobblestone. Fix that up and everything, and maybe fix that up a bit. That was a wall. It kind of turned out weird, and I'm not sure if I like this or not, how that looks with the supports. But there's a lot more work to do on here, but today we're going to be doing the awesome zombie traps. Whoopsie daisy, that light spike was my flux turning on, which I just disabled again because we're doing color sensitive work, technically. What that program does is that it removes the cold colors and just has warm colors. So like dullens the blues and like increases the reds and stuff like that on my screen when it's later at night. So now it's nighttime, of course. And then it doesn't like keep you up as much. It's some sciencey thing. I've noticed a difference. The iPhones, if you have one of those, have recently implemented that feature a couple months ago too, on one of their latest updates. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's what just happened. I guess really the last thing to show you is this house. Maybe this will be my house. It's kind of the main house in the middle of town, so maybe I'll put the villagers in the other houses. But we've got an entrance here. This is kind of the basement, which of course will kick out the walls and whatnot. And then its entrance is on this area. This is the main floor. It's one of these houses. And these are the coolest because of course you can build an upstairs, which we have our entrance over here, which we saw earlier. So I am loving this village. I think it's really cool. And I just love messing with villages and stuff. So this is the plan. This is our base. We're going to be staying for a while. So I need to think. Oh, there is one more thing I got to show you. But I need to think and delegate each building to have like, oh, it might be the farming area. We'll keep our farming chests and pumpkins and stuff in there and whatnot. And we'll change one of these things into like pumpkins and melons and all sorts of stuff. So we have a lot of work to do and a lot of upgrading for this village. But there's one more thing I want to show you that I did, and that is this guy over here. So we have this thing, this river, which we might bring over here a bit, or maybe just make a little pond right here for fishing. But I cut a cave into the mountain. I think it looks pretty cool because I just connected to the one on the other side. So we've got some more editing to do in this cave, making it look cooler. Maybe add some vines, some bones, all sorts of stuff. But we have a cave running through the mountain, which I think just looks absolutely sweet, if I do say so myself. So that is a tour of the village, and now let's crack on to what we're actually doing in this episode. Okay guys, time to start. So step one is the collection of the zombies. So we're going to go to here, if you remember. Oh, well there goes my shovel. This point that we designated was, or that was designated by the zombies, I guess, and their pathfinding abilities as a point where a lot of them wanted to go to try to get the villagers. So we're going to make that a little bit easier for them. What we're going to do is we're going to open up this pathway. So now they can get in. And we don't actually want them getting in, so we're going to trick them into thinking so. So hopefully, still in 1.10 this is a thing, but mobs are like, oh, trapdoor, I can walk over. So they believe that they can get, they see the trapdoors as always facing up, is essentially their pathfinding. So a mob would be like, oh, I'm going to go get that villager, and he's just going to walk over, and that zombie's going to fall. Now, what we do want to do, though, on this side of it, is we're going to break that block, and we're going to break this block down. So we don't want our villagers thinking, oh, I can just walk out here and walk out to the peaceful area, and then falling down and killing themselves. So we've got to make this a little bit more tricky. And actually, I think it might be... No, we want to do it this way, so that the zombies will see, oh, I can walk over and fall down. If we build, let's say we block this side off, even though they might try to get on here, they might see as that not being able to get by. I'm not entirely sure there, but we'll leave it as this for now. So this is a 1 point, and then we'll just break into the ground. I'm going to get a shovel before we break into the ground and take them somewhere. We have another point over here, and due to the zombies' new pathfinding abilities, they think they can walk up and fall down onto that block, which will actually cause them to fall down into here. So what we're going to do, we're going to go down, and I'm actually going to make this look a little nicer while we're at it. I have some slabs, and we're just going to go down, mine into here, and break some blocks, and have them fall. I'm hoping this one will work. This one I'm not as sure as the other one, so I'm hoping they fall into this. But just to be sure, we're going to add trapdoors all around the place, so mobs will walk off of them and fall in. So one there, and finally one there. So hopefully now, zombies have been coming up all the way to about here, and then like falling back down. Hopefully we'll get them to fall into that hole. We're going to make an additional spot over on this side for the zombies to get across right here. And I'm just going to beg that these work, because I actually don't know. They have not been tested. So I think what the plan is going to be is leave them like this with sinkholes into the ground. And if zombies are falling into them, then we will continue. If not, we will look up some YouTube videos and readjust how I am building these. But we need to go back over to the first we made before it turns nighttime and before I forget, because I will, and just make sure that that is far enough into the ground so it cannot get attacked. Awesome. So we now have 3 holes. I think there's another spot or 2 where zombies normally appear, and I'm going to go try to find them. Oh, and before I forget, I did want to come over to this place again and make this more of a one-way street so our villagers don't accidentally walk out of their safety area. So now the zombie can come in, it can jump up, fall down, but cannot go this way unless you jump. I may have to reevaluate some of these because they are pretty darn ugly, but here's our last one, just in time for nighttime, right over here in the last little area. And the only thing left to do now as it turns dark is to wait for zombies and see if these traps work. Every single night before this one, zombies have been attacking non-stop. It has been crawling at the borders, and now I don't even see a single zombie in like the distance. Oh, there's one. Maybe we can start getting them aggro. Ooh, so close. Nah, he's too far away. Huh. I have just spotted a zombie horde pack in the distance. Over there. Maybe they're... oh, yep, here they come. Oh my! Where did that come from? Okay. Here come some zombies. Okay, it's taking some urging, but yes! He fell right in. So it took me standing over here, but let's see if we beat this guy up and get his friends over here. So when you hit a zombie, it has a chance to spawn more. It also aggroes all the other zombies in the area to you. Well, there he goes. Maybe just like a zombie attack all the others. Ooh, I hear one, and I also hear my phone buzzing. But I just heard a zombie. I think over in this direction. Maybe. Maybe not. Ah, they all hate me. As soon as I want them to come get me, they don't. So as the night comes to a disappointing close with an utter lack of zombies, except one that I moved over, we're gonna have to put this project on hold until we figure out what really brings them. So we're gonna have to see, maybe less zombies just spawn, or maybe I don't know. I don't know what's going on now, but we're gonna have to see if these things actually work, and we'll start working on a new project next episode until these come back online. Though, while we wait for a zombie horde to attack, there is something that I can do, and that is build the killing chambers. So I have gathered one magma block back from spawn, and brought it with me. And we might as well use this little house over here for our purpose. So basically what we're going to have them do is we're going to come out over here, and we are going to have our little guy drop off and drop down here. So I just realized this is uneven, or this is even. We kind of wanted it to be odd because we will have one block for the killing platform, but let's just place it right here. And then what we're also going to do is place some water flowing into it. We're going to surround this thing, and then build around like this, and fill in every other part. There we go. Okay, so we have this little space here for it to exit, and then we're going to go down here, and we can place a chest. Actually, we can probably cover this chest up, and it'll still be fine. Yep, so we can access this chest, and what I should have done first is go down here and place a hopper, and then a magma block. So if you're starting to see what we're doing, once I get this on here, and place the water, is that this is where the zombies are coming to die. So they will fall down here and take damage, and all we need to do is build some blocks up and around them. I'm going to use dirt for right now because we do not currently have glass, but essentially the trap's going to work like this building. So if I break into here, we're going to be coming up from there. So what we just need to do is build a little chute, place that down, and grab our second water bucket. Oops, before I do that, I do need to add another sign right here. Oh, misclick. Right there. And then now I can drop, I did not mean literally drop our water bucket, drop our water down there. So if you're kind of getting the gist of it, they're going to float in here and fall down to that trap. And then all we have to do is grab some more water, go back in this house, and start building some more signs around it. So this isn't going to actually be a house for villagers to stay in. Like that, and then water block. Barely got that in time, and there we go. Oh, here we go. So there's some zombies down here. I forgot to make a collection point there because they do tend to fall, but we have one guy falling, and oh, I don't know, it might have just been because I walked over here, but we now have him trapped. So this seems to be at least working a little bit, and I'm going to make these traps look nicer and fix them up. But I think first and foremost, once I don't get mauled by mobs if I go outside... Oh! There's one in there! Oh my gosh, I haven't even walked over here yet. This is awesome! Okay, so we're going to set all this up, and then once it turns to day, I'm going to get some glass, and then we're going to start connecting all of the tunnels. Hey guys, so I just went down there, spent a good hour or so in these tunnels, making the water streams around, and I recorded all the footage, and it was really dark. I was not providing good commentary, it just like sucked. So they're very simple, they're basically all the same, so I'm just going to explain to you how I did them, and that'll be much more interesting. And then we're going to take a ride in them so you'll still see all the tunnels. But basically, I found the lowest one. It was at 61, so I'm like, okay, we'll just start at 60. So I made the floor of them all, dug down to 60, y equals 60. So that's the height. We're at 74, 75 right now. So went down to 60. And I just made waterways, and we used signs to like block the water and extend it across the whole thing, and they all led to one central point. And that central point came out at the top where we built this thing. So if I like fall down on this thing, you can see there's already one connecting into this. So we're flowing around. And what zombies do is that when they're underwater, they will press space to climb up. So you see that again over here. You can see that's another connector. One connector, the last little connector right there. And we're being pushed along. I'm not touching anything. And then we're stuck here. Zombies float to the surface. They go up. And then this is one of those common mob elevators where they just come up. And we go up really high on this thing because the base of the top of the hill. And you can see right here is some glass. You can see the furnace area. And then we are at the top. And I'm going to break out of here before I kill myself. Uh-oh, where'd the other one go? There we go. There's two slabs. We can break that now. And there we go. So that is the whole system working. And hopefully, if it's all good, we will see a zombie come up into here. So I'm going to look around. I'll be looking at all these guys, all these traps, and we'll see when we find them. The only other thing I think we might do to this is if we have like another trap down there, or like in one of the areas we don't have it, let's place like a villager at each spot, and that'll just attract the ones, like if there's zombies along this whole wall, and I put a villager like right there, that means they'll all go to that place, instead of like going around randomly, and that'll make it even more likely that zombies will be back. So I'm gonna look around, see if we find a zombie, and then hopefully I will catch one dying for you guys on camera. Oh, I was starting to get worried. There was one earlier that I missed. You can see a base in here. And there was more caught out, but they didn't actually fall into the pits because I didn't finish the one on that side. But we did finally get one, so there's 2 tonight. There wasn't many zombies around. I was peeking under and around a bit. But we did get 2, so it seems to be working. Not the most efficient mob farm, but I think it's pretty cool that we have the villagers just murdering their zombies. And we got some more rotten flesh. So if we sit here, we'll just be getting rotten flesh from there, and then we can go back and try that with villagers. I was kind of disappointed because there's 3 or 4 over here. Oh yeah, you can even see by the zombie flesh. There's like a dead one. There's a couple dead ones here. But there's like 3 or 4, and I hadn't finished this little piece over here, which I was just doing then when I heard them all come up. But we can break this now, and this little piece will be finished to wrap up this episode. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I didn't grab what I needed from the circus. I'm out of wood. I don't have any signs to